Hello, everybody, and welcome to a Wait What 150 edition in the morning. This is where I talk about everything that is or has or already maybe happened in the past, I don't know, month or week or whatever. Yeah, that's right. So, as you all may know, that I publicly announced this channel is no longer actually getting official updates. That has actually been legit. Wait What's are now only going to be just news. Pretty much a primary podcast source of your daily dose of RJ news or whatever. This might be a daily thing. Only if people like it. That's truly correct right there. And I'm not going to be always so formal. I'm probably going to be informal half the time. And that's going to be just the great part about life. That is correct. So last time I had one of these, I was really just actually don't remember what the last one was, but this is gonna be a primary thing where I'm gonna try to keep doing it multiple times, and it might be weekly, might be monthly, might not be. Who knows? I don't know yet, but we're gonna try it, see what happens. Probably might be weekly more like it, because having it every day wouldn't make sense, because then I would have to actually like research the news. It'll be bi-weekly, most likely. So anyway, since the last time we had one of these, a lot of games were announced, a lot of games came out, and a lot of stuff has just been happening in general in the whole world and universe. I got a new microphone, and it's a studio quality microphone, so I might sound a tad bit different, but not too much, because the other one was pretty good as well, but this one has a pop filter, all the good other stuff, and has a mixer, so that works. Um, I'm gonna be definitely going in the direction when it comes down to it, trying to get more voice acting gigs than I ever have. Still haven't had a really. I've only had one. It was a non-profit voice acting gig, and this actually might be going up on the on their radio station. It is. Oh, I'd have to look at it again. It's been a minute, couple weeks. It's been actually a few months since I've actually even done anything. Anyway, the radio station is through a community hub called Access Humboldt. They are a very cool group of people that help people in general their own start on their own path through whatever production you're doing, which is could be from film to photography to things just in voice in general. They are a great little group in the Humboldt County area that really will help you integrate stuff into, like if you're just getting started, you have questions. They will help you connect and kind of make yourself branch out. Yeah, it's a great little company, little nonprofit thing. They have a radio station. I think it's uh, 96 point. I can't remember the exact radio station. I'll put it down. Link in the description. They're very good. I actually have been really. Um, I haven't really been doing much with them lately because of work and just personal issues with certain things in my life. It's amazing, but yeah, it's been a journey the past few months anyway. I've recently also just been going through some massive. It's like it's an awakening of spiritual succession. Yeah, that's right. Anyway, when it comes down to the news, there's been some juicy tidbits, and the juicy tidbits have just been getting more and more organized over the past few weeks. Just the past 3 months, we came out with, what did I counted the other day? 20 games. Again, probably going to be in the link in the description. We got games that I haven't played yet, or games that I've played, like Shadow of War. Played a few rounds of that. That was pretty fun. Didn't pass the game yet. I'm one of those people who I have the worst habits of just starting a game and not finishing it. It's only because I have such a weird work schedule that sometimes I get sucked into a game and it just, yeah, my whole entire thought process goes out the door. For example, like I started playing Shadows of War, then I got really back into World of Warcraft, and getting back into World of Warcraft kind of like really sucked up my time. I actually since have gotten Flying in Legion. I mind you, I've only been playing World of Warcraft again for about. I think I started at the beginning of October. I got Flying in Legion. I'm currently working on leveling two different characters at once right now. I leveled a Warlock for the first time, and that's what I got Flying on because I thought that was just fantastic. I actually really enjoyed it and still probably would really enjoy it, but then I got more into the fact that there's other classes that I also have been either neglecting or stuff like that. I got really also into the fact that I kind of want to get more transmogs, and getting more transmogs is actually a very time-consuming thing unless you have a lot of money and in the game, because the game you can buy a lot of the transmogs via the auction house, but not all of them. Some of them you actually have to go out into the world and actually complete quests and dungeons and professions. It's a lot, but I plan on maybe doing some more of that. I also, if you've been living under a rock when it comes to Blizzard news, they announced their new expansion. It's Battle for Azeroth. I actually plan on covering that indefinitely. I want to cover more. I'm gonna probably be behind most of the major news people, but if you guys are interested in any of that, just let me know, cause I love covering that stuff. It's fun. I got a lot of coverage just on that in general. I'm gonna go over little cliff notes because I don't want these to be too long, still. But one thing with the Battle for Azeroth, you are coming back to Azeroth. So essentially, if you haven't been playing the Legion campaign, not gonna really get into it too much. Say you defeat this massive entity that you've been trying to defeat for a while, and then just to come back, and the world needs to have a war now. You've been having a lot of alliances and a lot of enemies, kind of forging this what is it? It's not really forging. It's pretty much this tear that has just been opening up. And what's the metaphor for that? It's a tear that's been just, seemingly slowly ripping away at the book, and now the page is completely just torn off when it comes to that metaphor. I don't know where I was going with that. They are now going back to the roots of the game, which was Horde versus Alliance. It's seemingly just going to be quote unquote that for right now. I do know a little bit more that's going to happen in the expansion, but I don't want anyone to really. It's not for me to say, more or less, unless I actually had some more insight. I don't work for Blizzard either, so don't contact me saying anything like, oh, what's this, what's that, because even if I did, I couldn't even disclose that. But let me just tell you that this expansion is going to be pretty awesome. It's going to have 6 new playable races, and the races are pretty cool. They are for Horde. You got Zandalari Trolls, you got High Mountain Tauren, and then you got something. What was it? What was the other one? It was something very interesting. Oh yeah, Nightborn. So in Legion, you had this race, and it was the Nightborn. I'll get more on that in a minute. Um, and then for Alliance, you got Void Elves, which were just introduced in the newest patch. Is it Army of the Light or Lightforged Draenei, which is another race that was interestingly just introduced. And then you got Dark Iron Dwarf, which is another one that's just been. It's not really a new race. It's just one of those ones where it's like, wow, finally they're doing this. So the reason why I was gonna come back to the Legion Nightborn thing is the Nightfallen are this faction, and they were the faction that they actually introduced in the last expansion. A lot of people actually liked them. That's why they're becoming a playable race. A lot of people like really gave Blizzard a legit legit feedback on how they would like the race to be probably implemented in more ways. And they had their own questing zone, Suramar. It's a long but tedious questing zone. I just completed it. Actually, I'm not completely completed with that actual full thing. I just did it for the Revert experience. I'm really close to completing the campaign though, and the campaign is long but tedious, and it's really cool if you love a good story and have some time to just play it. It's a good little campaign for you to play, and it's fine. It's not too rough. You got really just one downfall when it comes down to certain people might not realize this, but in the actual campaign, just so I don't spoil it, there is minor differences between Horde and Alliance players when you actually play it, and apparently this is a difference that makes the Nightborn join the Horde. It's kind of stupid, but because both factions are helping these people, and all of a sudden the people just go, "Hey, I don't really care. These people may or may not have helped more, and that's why we're actually going to go through them." It makes sense, but to me, as a player, when you're playing Alliance and all of a sudden now this race is a Horde faction, you're like, why would I want to even help them? So people will go back during the next expansion and be like, why are we helping these people? And then you'll be like, oh wait, because of this. The one cool thing though about this whole implication is the fact that they're implementing this new thing called allied races, and the allied races means that they're gonna just be able to pluck factions or races that they think are deemed necessary, and they're gonna or deemed worthy, I should say, and they're gonna actually implement them into the game. And so that means it cuts cost when it comes down to making a new starting zone. So they don't have to really make a new starting zone. They just have to, say you want to be just for a primary example, you want to be a squirrel from Elwyn Forest. Well, now you don't have to do their weird squirrel introductory zone, which I know a lot of people want to play as a squirrel. And let me just tell you, the introductory zone would be horrible. It wouldn't be fun. You'd just be gathering nuts, getting ready for winter. And that's not fun all the time. Let me just tell you that one. Not fun. But yeah, it's gonna be cool. These allied races thing might actually add more. They might add more races faster now. That's what it was mainly added in there for. They're testing it out, and if it goes well, we might get another race, then another race, then another race, and so on and so forth. So moving on from World of Warcraft, because I did take quite a bit of time just talking about that. I also, let's see, just because I got back into World of Warcraft, that's why I stopped playing Shadows of War. Battlefront 2 came out, and started playing that quite a bit. Elex also came out. I started playing Elex, but then due to actually I was really swamped with my work schedule, completely forgot about the game until I recently. What else was I? I picked up Assassin's Creed Origins, um, metaphorically, because I didn't. Uh, and I started playing it. I actually am currently enjoying the campaign. I've been back and forth between World of Warcraft and other games, so I haven't been really going into. I've been playing a lot of Battlefront too, and I gotta say I love the game. Games been getting a lot of hate for this stupid majority of that, but the game itself is really fun to play. They just need to focus on the good and not the bad all the time. So if you haven't played Battlefront 2 because you think it's a scam setup thing, don't listen to them. It's actually a fun game. If you like the first Battlefront, then you'll like this one quite a bit. It's very challenging. The modes are actually kind of cool. I recommend it 100% when it comes down to the game, especially since we're coming up on Thanksgiving, Black Friday. Actually, Thanksgiving is tomorrow, but don't tell anyone. And Black Friday is on Friday, of course, so that's gonna be a fun time. Pick up your copy of Battlefront 2. totally EA is not, or Disney does not sponsor me, so that'd be nice to be sponsored by a big company like Disney and work for them doing voice acting. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I'm joking. I'm joking. Anyway, uh, on to some other games. We got a lot of good games still coming out. Just last week, we also had was it LA Noir came out? Was it last week or 2 weeks ago already? And I haven't picked it up or even like decided to buy it yet. I might, but I'm not sure because that's one of my favorite games of all time. But I'm not really sure because of how I've been sporadically gaming. I don't want to buy it. Like for example, I bought Mario Odyssey, and I haven't played it yet. I'm gonna probably play it tomorrow for a little bit because I have to work. But I'll probably play it tomorrow because that's gonna be kind of a uh, fun game. I've heard marvelous things about it. It's up for Game of the Year, and that'll be great. I can't wait to actually see what what's the tour with that. I picked up Skyrim again. That was really fun. I created a character, made him a werewolf, and was mowing. Was it Windhelm down? Yeah, I think it's Windhelm. I started playing ESO again too. I tried a little bit. I'm playing it casually. Haven't been playing too much of it. It's a very fun game. I recently, it was a few months ago now. I started playing. Oh, it was way more than a few months ago because I got a new computer, and that was in July. Yeah, that was way more than a few months ago. And I started playing Guild Wars 2, and I was playing it for a good month and a half, and then stopped because I was playing it with a friend, and me and said friend like to play games, and then sometimes we just kind of set it down and never play it again. It happens. Like there was one game we legitimately started playing for one whole day, and we just played it all day because we were waiting for a game to come out. And once that game came out, we stopped playing it entirely. And that's how life goes, I guess. Um, what else is coming out? Uh, a lot of games came out. If you like Call of Duty, there's that one. I also it gets a lot of backlash because of the server issues, but I've heard the game's pretty great. Call of Duty World War Two. Um, it's a lot just happening in general. Uh, new news on the storefront when it came down to Xbox One X. Apparently, a lot of the consoles have been actually defective, which is quite sad. Hopefully, they fix that and things get back to normal when it comes back to the shelves. When it comes on back to the shelves, that sounds great. I might be doing one of my. I think that's pretty much it. I might be doing more than one of these a week if I deem it necessary. This one is. I feel like I dragged on a little bit too long. If you guys would like to hear more or even have more suggestions on things you would also like to see or hear covered, please leave a comment and such. Because I would really like to hear more opinions. Uh, I guess I'll talk to you guys later, and just remember when there's a question, there's always a wait, what? Yeah.